So, we're going over today unit conversions. We've done this before. When we go ahead and look at our units, we can always multiply any number by 1 and we still go ahead and get the same number, right?
Correct.
So the way unit conversions work is as long as we multiply by a fraction that's equal to 1, we aren't really changing anything other than the units that we're measuring in. So for example here, if I'm going from 3.2 yards to feet. So first thing I'm going to go ahead and do when I'm setting up that unit conversion is I go ahead and set it up as a fraction. I can put any number over 1 and it's the same number still, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then, how many feet are in a yard or vice versa?
3 feet in a yard.
Okay, so if I want this to cancel, when I multiply, I put yards at the bottom and feet at the top. You told me there's 3 feet in 1 yard. When I go ahead and multiply that, my yards cancel, so I end up with the units of feet. 3.2 times 3 is going to be 9.6 feet over 1 times 1 is 1. I get my answer of 9.6 feet, right? Kind of coming back to you guys?
Yeah.
So we're going to do a couple more examples here. We could probably do feet to inches pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Does anyone want me to demonstrate that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm looking at this, 6 2/3 feet, how am I going to set that up?
Can you do that?
So, it'll be 3.
And then I've got to go to inches. So I know that I want feet in the bottom. I want inches in the top because I want my feet to cancel. What's my conversion that's equal to 1? 12 what equals what?
12 inches equals 1 foot.
6 2/3 times 12 is going to give me 80. Feet cancel with feet. So I've got 80 inches over 1. So then my answer is 80 inches.
Is it exactly 80?
Yes.
Really?
2/3 times 12 is going to go ahead and be 8. Plus 6 times 12. 6 times 12 is 72. 72 plus 8 gives me 80.
Oh.
And you could plug that in on your calculator, right? Also, a lot of these conversions are in the back of our engineering notebook. So if we're not too sure, we can look back there. So as we get to more difficult ones, I think we've got the idea, well, how would we do yards to inches? Do we know how many inches are in a yard?
Yeah.
If we didn't, what we could do is we could do a compound multiplication. Exactly, we could go yards to feet to inches. So just to demonstrate that process, 4.8 yards over 1. Once again, if I don't know how many inches are in a yard, I could multiply, use this conversion from up here, so I know that 3 feet in 1 yard. And then I could once again use this conversion right here. So I have 12 inches in 1 foot. So if I multiply that out, my yards cancel, my feet cancel, and I end up with 4.8 times 3 times 12. Don't want to make a mistake on camera. 4.8 times 3 times 12. 172.8. The only units I have left across the top is inches. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. Right there would be my answer to that conversion. Questions?
No, sir.
So if we keep moving along here, this one we might not know. Do we know the conversion from inches to centimeters? So we could look that up, right? Okay, so if I'm getting this set up, I've got 80 inches over 1. I know that I want to go from inches to centimeters. And Logan, could you look up what that conversion is in the back of your engineering notebook?
Hi, video him.
Centimeters or inches to centimeters?
Yes.
2.5 inches in a centimeter. I'm pretty sure it's 2.5 centimeters.
0.394.
What? Close.
So he found that there's 3.394 inches in 1 centimeter. If we look the other way around, there'd be 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. Doesn't matter which way we go. If I go with the numbers he gave me, I can see that I've got inches that cancel. I get 80 times 1 is 80 centimeters divided by 0.394. So I go back to my calculator here. 80 divided by 0.394 equals 203.05 centimeters. In the same way, if we would have used the other conversion factor, 2.54, we would have ended up taking 80 times 2.54, and we would have got 203.2. So there's a little bit of a rounding difference when we go with this one. I usually use the other way around, but pretty close to the same thing. We'd round to the same number of centimeters. Pounds to kilograms, pounds and ounces to kilograms. So that's stepping it up a little bit. Our second baby that was born weighed 6 pounds, 8 ounces. I have relatives in Netherlands. If I use pounds and ounces, they'd have no clue what I was talking about. So if I want to convert that to kilograms so I could talk to them, what's the first thing I need to do?
How many kilograms it is?
I probably need to get it all in either pounds or ounces, right?
Ounces.
So I have someone telling me to go to ounces. So I need to get my 6 pounds converted to ounces. So if I have 6 pounds, and I want to go to ounces, what's our conversion?
I'm looking.
Okay.
Okay. 30, 35.
16 ounces in a pound. So 6 times 16,
Where'd you find that?
where did we find that? If I look in the back of the engineering notebook, should be in there. It's also one of the things that we know, or should know. Sounds like you found it there.
Hey.
So, 6 times 16 is 96 ounces over 1. Now I can't forget that I have to come back here and add my 8 to that. So that's what 6 pounds is. If I go ahead and add 8 to that,
100 and
104. So I have 104 ounces over 1. I'm not done yet. I need to go ahead and go to kilograms now. So I have ounces. I want to get rid of ounces. And then, do we have a conversion from ounces to kilograms, or do we have to go to grams and then to kilograms?
one bushel of potatoes is 60 pounds.
Oh my god. It's 35 point something.
Ounces in a kilogram, okay? So, what's that number again?
35.274 ounces.
So, 35.274 ounces in a kilogram. When I multiply this across, we get 104 times 1, my ounces cancel. So 104 kilograms. Keep in mind, if Mr. V hears you, that the camera probably hears you as well. Divided by 35.274, which is unitless because our ounces canceled. So now if I do that on my calculator, I find out that our daughter weighed approximately 2.95 kilograms. Questions on how I did that conversion?
No, sir.
Okay, so another example of going English to metric. 27 miles per gallon. My car gets 27 miles per gallon. I got a teaching job over in the Netherlands. I'm going to go ahead and transport my piece of junk car all the way to the Netherlands to go ahead and commute back and forth there. And I want to figure out how many kilometers per liter I'm going to get, because over there everything's measured in kilometers, and I'm going to have to buy my fuel at $1.50 a liter, and I want to make sure that I'm not spending too much money by transporting my car over there. So if I'm looking at this, I'm going to set this up as 27 miles per 1 gallon, right? So now I have a label, numerator and denominator. Should I get rid of miles first or should I get rid of gallons first?
Miles.
Okay, so if I'm getting rid of miles first, I'm going to have something with miles in the bottom, and I'm going to kilometers in the top. So what's my conversion? Does anyone have that?
I'm looking.
For every 1 mile, there's 1.609 kilometers.
How do you do that?
0.62.
Okay, so there would be two ways I could go with that. He told me for every mile there's 1.609 kilometers. I could also go ahead and say for every kilometer there's something like 0.62 miles. It's in the back of the engineering notebook once again. Okay, so that's going to take care of my miles to kilometers conversion. Now I need to go ahead and get rid of my gallons and go to liters. My gallons are in the bottom this time. So if I want to get rid of gallons, I want to put gallons in the top,
And then liters in the bottom.
then liters in the bottom, so that I go ahead and get rid of my gallons. So does someone have that conversion factor for me?
One gallon is 3.785 liters.
Okay, so now that I've got that, I can go ahead and multiply across. When I do that, my miles are going to cancel, my gallons are going to cancel, and if you notice, that's going to give me kilometers over liters, which is exactly what I'm supposed to be going towards. So I have 27 times 1.609 times 1 gives me 43.443 kilometers per 3.785 liters. I have to divide that, so I get per liter. So divided by 3.785. So my car is going to get 11.48 kilometers per liter. And I spent $10,000 to ship it over there. Probably not a wise investment.
No.
Car's only worth like $1,000, not going to pay off.